Yes?
Yeah. Where is Santa Claus?
In your heart.
Okay. Thank you. Next question. How was Bashar born?
I was born in a small birthing village that is temporary on our planet. Through the energy fields of my parents, my body formed in between those two energy fields when they intersected, and I took on the form that I have now. Do you understand the answer?
Yeah. Okay. Next question. 2 days ago, a friend of mine took a photo of the moon in Los Angeles, and there was a triangle UFO. Is that you?
No.
What was your message at that time?
It is not me, but it may be another member of my species. I'm not the only one that has a triangular UFO.
Wow. Oh, I see.
My ship is still exactly above us now in Sedona.
Bedrock? Bedrock? Is that Bedrock?
Bell Rock, above Bell Rock. How far?
Yeah.
At this particular moment, 1,000 feet.
Oh. Cross.
900 feet.
Wow. Great.
800 feet.
I'm glad to hear that.
Oh, back to 900. You just scared me. $700 feet.
Oh.
Where it will remain for a while.
Wow. After that, I will meet you.
Maybe someday. But you are, in a sense, meeting us right now.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Aveo.
Bashar,
Good day.
I almost didn't come, but
Neither did I.
I gotta say that. I said I would only come if I speak one master to the next, and here we are.
All right.
I've had an amazing life. I'm still living it great to the fullest. Done many things, and I want to ask your input on the excitement. I've had many excitements, and I've accomplished many things.
Yes.
And I believe since I was like 5, 6, I've been just running hard from helping family, creating my own businesses and stuff like that since a young age. And so I've been accomplishing all these things since I was a young kid.
Yes.
And I've reached the point where probably like 5 years ago, I had the spiritual awakening, and I've really dove deep into all this knowledge. And now that I have a lot more understanding, I have contact with you now. And nothing really excites me the way it used to.
That's all right. You can change your excitement.
Okay. Like obviously there's things out there that I am still pursuing that are in my realm that I find exciting.
Yes.
But it's not like it used to be. Like when I had this vigor, like I didn't care, like I knew that was it, I would do it. Now I have a lot of options and I go towards them, but they're not as exciting, and I'm
Well,
okay
what
with
is
that.
exciting for you now? You must have some idea of what's more exciting for you now.
Well, that was my question. That's my question to you, because I'm okay with how I feel. I'm okay with the stage I'm in. I'm okay with.
That's not what it sounds like. If you could do anything, if there were nothing holding you back, what would you be doing?
I mean, wildly, I would make some music, some entertainment.
But what prevents you from doing that? Would that be exciting?
Yeah, it'll be exciting. It'll be exciting. It's just that, like, that's such a, like, I guess the belief is not there because it's something that I've never really explored. As a kid, I did a little bit.
So what? What has that got to do with anything that you could do now if you're really excited about it? Why wouldn't you explore it now? If you say that's representative of a higher level of excitement, why wouldn't you explore it? What's holding you back? What assumptions, what definitions, what beliefs are holding you back?
I guess my mind has been developed as far as like beliefs in like business, you know, not in that creative realm. It's always just been like transactional.
Business is creative.
Yes, it is. But it's a different category. But all
We
in all,
understand. But are you excited about doing music? Yes.
I haven't taken the plunge to do it due to the fact that I'm like, I have a few excitements, but nothing seems that exciting. But if anything did, like, that would probably be an option. Like, okay, that would be more exciting. That would be more.
Well, that's
fun.
a nice way to beat around the bush. If anything did, I guess that would.
Yeah, why not?
Then that's another way of saying that excites you. What's holding you back?
Well, obviously, it's you. I mean, everything is you. Everything is, I'm holding myself back, obviously.
But how? What's preventing you from actually taking action in that direction of making music? What assumptions are you making that makes you stop before you start?
That I'm so trained in like, you know, I've done accounting and stuff like that and real estate and stuff like that.
Can you not be trained in music?
Yeah, I can. Obviously, I can. Yeah. It's just, I'm telling you, it's just that I'm so freaking ingrained in a certain direction that it's hard for me to break away.
That's a belief.
And exactly.
So why do you buy into that it's hard to break away from that? Is it because you're afraid to move forward in that because you think you'll fail?
That's always a possibility, but
No. Yes, it may always be a possibility,
Yes.
but what you believe is that it's a probability.
Yeah, since it's an unfamiliar territory, yes, and it's way out of.
All right, it's unfamiliar territory,
Yes.
but you know, the only thing you ever discover in the unknown is more of yourself.
And I like that you're saying that because I've always been that individual who just takes direction, who cares.
Well, if you've always been that individual, then continue to be that individual. Just because you are changing the modality doesn't mean you can't keep going.
Yeah, you're right. I like that.
If it makes it any easier to your brain, you can say you're now going into the music business.
I like that.
What can you do to start moving in the direction of your excitement?
Well, my mind already has some plans that I just don't take action on because of the.
Oh, you already have plans, do you?
Yeah, I mean, it's you
Like
know.
what? Do share.
Like, I mean, there's courses out there from great artists that, you know, they share on how to get started and how they get started, and, you know, you could get motivation from there. And then.
And that is something you're moving forward on?
No, I have not. No.
Is that something you are willing to move forward on? Even to any degree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me put it to you this way.
Yeah.
Remember this we have said. If you do not believe that your excitement can support you, then by all means honor your belief system and keep doing what you believe you need to support you. However, if you're going to do that, at the very least, because we can see and feel that you're chomping at the bit, at the very least, give yourself the opportunity to take whatever actions you are comfortable taking in the direction of your excitement, so that your excitement can prove to you that it can actually support you. So at least be willing to take some action in the direction of your excitement to give it a chance to show you that you can keep going in that direction, but at a pace that you're comfortable with. And one day, maybe you'll reach that point sooner or later where you go, you know what? I now understand that my excitement in this direction, this new thing, can support me, and I can now let go of the things that I'm not really that excited about, but I did it at my own pace that's comfortable for me. That's up to you.
Right.
So you can do it as quickly or slowly as you wish. Just understand that when you decide to move in that direction, it will be supportive in the same way anything has been supportive. Because the universe doesn't make a differentiation between those things. Only you do. You have to decide, well, what's so different about going into music? Okay, it's unfamiliar, but so what? When I started my business, that was unfamiliar too.
Yeah.
So this is a different unfamiliar. So what? You can do it. If you really are excited about it, you can do it. Have fun with it. Don't put any pressure on yourself. Take it at whatever pace you're comfortable with. But do it in whatever way you can, so you can prove to yourself that you can still be excited about life and excited about doing certain things that you say you would like to be excited about, but are not allowing yourself to be excited about because you're getting in your own way with all of these reasons why you can't move forward. That's up to you. You're the one calling the shots. Yes?
Yeah, thank you.
Does this help?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a lot of self-inquiry that I've done, which leads me to my next question. I know you mentioned everybody has an original energy frequency on them of what direction or what inspires them.
Yes.
But it's only like our beliefs or our thinking that kind of blocks us from it.
Yes.
Is there any methods other than self-inquiry and time? I mean, because it's all permission slip, and with time, the knowledge.
Do you understand that you get to decide these things? That you get to choose whatever methods you wish, whatever permission slips work for you?
I'm aware of that, yeah.
Are you?
Well, you're telling me yes.
Can you be aware enough of it that you actually exhibit it in your actions?
Isn't the saying the things that you're doing already are the things that actually inspire you, that no one has to tell you what to do?
Yeah, but if you were not excited about them anymore, then that might be an indication that there are other things you could be doing. Unless you're the one dampening the excitement in those things. But if you're not, if the excitement is actually waning naturally, that's your first indication that something else now may need to be on your path.
And I think that's exactly where I'm at. I mean, earlier I heard
It is.
one of your videos saying that I need to just allow things to leave so other new things can come back, and that's where I'm at right now.
Yes, well, don't hesitate then.
Okay.
Do what you can in the direction of what you say might be something very exciting for you, and see where it leads you.
Will do.
It's up to you.
I will.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. I'll take that as an okay. We thank you all with deep appreciation for the co-creation, this day of your time, of this interaction and the allowance of this transmission. Our unconditional love to you all, and let us begin. We have titled this transmission, Sedona, the interdimensional city. The idea being that because of the nature of the vortex of energy that exists in this area, it is connected to many different realms, many different realities, many different dimensions. And so we would like to discuss the ways in which you may use this portal, this energy, to connect to more of yourself, bring more of yourself through, that being your greater self, not just your physical minds, but connecting more readily with your higher mind, with your greater being, with parallel realities, with Source, and your guides, and all who are willing to be of assistance to you. The first thing we would like to explain is the idea of that connection, because we know many of you ask for assistance, ask for help, pray for guidance, but I remind you, prayer is not about asking for something you don't have. Prayer is a state of grace, a state of being, in which you express appreciation and gratitude for what already exists. Because you have all the help you can possibly be given already. It's about allowing yourself to be more aware of the help you are already receiving, rather than asking for something you are not being given. Keep it in present tense, for that's where everything exists, in the right here and the right now. We have before talked about the idea, just to use a similar Earth analogy, of the AAA formula. When you need assistance, you call AAA. But this AAA is the idea of acknowledging what you have, being in appreciation for what you have, and allowing what needs to happen next to happen. So acknowledging, appreciating, and allowing are the states of being that represent your ability to allow you to know you are receiving what you need and to be more open to perceiving it. It is the allowance that allows you to perceive what it is you are already being given, because you are always being given it. It is never withheld, not for one moment. As we have said, based on the idea you call the law of attraction, it isn't wrong that you have to be of the vibration to attract what you need, but many people have a little bit of a misunderstanding as to what that really means. And so, as we have explained, your core frequency, your true essential vibration, is already attracting everything you need as powerfully as it can be. So it's not about having to learn that particular frequency. You're already radiating that frequency every moment of your existence. It is pouring out of you. The idea is to stop getting in the way of allowing it to attract what you need. So it's not about having to learn something you're not already doing. It's about letting go of those fear-based or negative belief systems or erroneous assumptions and definitions that are impeding your core vibration from bringing you what you need in life. And notice that we have said what you need, not what you want. Sometimes your wants and needs can coincide, but very often the want may be the result of a misunderstanding in the ego structure to make you think you need something that really isn't necessarily as relevant as you might think or as you might wish. But if you have what you need, your lives will be fulfilled. You will live a life of joy because the needs are what will support you in every endeavor that is representative of your truth, of your passion, of your true path in life. If you have what you need, you have everything. Again, sometimes if you are in touch and in tune with your true self, then your wants and needs may coincide. And at the very least, if you're going to want what you need, because that will give you everything. The idea now of being in this vortex, it is a magnifier and an amplifier of what you bring with you into it. Positive, neutral, and negative. It is very important in this reflective mirror, this magnifying mirror, to really deep down examine what you hold to be true, why you hold it to be true, and really with honesty deeply investigate yourself, your beliefs, your definitions, and ponder why you believe it is important to hold on to something. So allow yourself the opportunity to really get to know yourself. That ancient wisdom, know thyself, is the key. And in knowing yourself as clearly as you possibly can, you can more easily discern what it is that is truly important for you to hold on to as a belief, to understand why you're holding on to it, to understand why you may be holding on to things that don't necessarily serve you. Because once again, allow us to explain briefly what we call the motivational mechanism in all of you. Every single one of you operate this way. There are no exceptions, not even you. The idea is it works this way. You will all immediately, instantly, move in the direction of what you believe serves you. You will all immediately, automatically, and instantly move away from what you believe does not serve you. So if you can observe that you may be choosing things that do not serve you, if you understand the motivational mechanism, then you will understand that the only way that could happen, the only way that can happen, is if you have a belief that says that what it is that doesn't serve you is somehow better than the alternative. That you may have a fear that if you move in the direction of your truth, your passion, that something worse will happen than what you're already experiencing. And if you have that belief attached to your motivational mechanism, you will do everything in your power to avoid moving in the direction of your joy. Because your belief says that something worse will happen and that that is something you should move away from as far as you possibly can. So you have to dig down deep in your self-investigation to understand why you would believe such a thing, why you would believe that your passion would contain anything that is so contradictory to the idea of experiencing your true self in a joyful way. Because that's a contradictory definition to the idea of your passion, of who you truly are. Because what is your passion? As we have explained, your passion is the result of a communication from your higher mind saying, this is who you are. This is the next step on your path. Your non-physical higher mind, that portion of your whole being that is in spirit, is sending you energy messages all the time. But they come in the form of energy because it is coming from a non-physical reality. Your physical body translates that energy message as the sensation you call passion, excitement, curiosity, attraction, and love. So when you translate the messages from your higher mind into the sensation and the experience of passion, then you know that that's what your higher mind is telling you. This opportunity, this situation contains this excitement, this passion, because this is who you are. This is the next step on your path. this is your truth. If you are willing to act on it, then you are responding to the higher mind, saying, yes, I heard you, and I'm willing to allow you to guide me. And if you thus act on it, you have responded to the higher mind with the language of physical reality, which is not words and not thoughts, but actions. Physical actions are the language of physical reality. It is representative of the commitment to take action on what the higher mind has told you is your next step in life. And once you do that, you set up the dialogue with your higher mind so that it can send you more opportunities to act on your passion. For why should it send you more opportunities if you haven't even acted on what it's already sent you? The idea is then you cause the ball to start rolling, and then it can gain momentum, and then the higher mind can bring you more opportunities and bigger opportunities to act on your passion. And it doesn't matter if it starts small. If you do not immediately know what your passion is, allow yourself to start simply in daily ways. At any given moment, you have a number of options available to you. Very simple daily things. You can take a walk, you can read a book, you can talk to a friend, you can eat a meal. Just pick what has even the tiniest bit more excitement than any other choice and act on that first to the best you can. No insistence, no assumption as to the outcome. See where it leads, stay in a positive state, examine any belief systems that are fear-based and negative that come up surrounding it, and just keep doing that. If you find you cannot tell the difference between two things, flip a coin. Because then it won't matter. Sometimes the coin flip may reveal to you what your true attraction is. Oh, heads I'll do A, and B I'll do tails this way. And if you flip it and it goes tails, you go, oh darn, I wish it was heads. Now you know, move in that direction. But if they're truly equal in excitement, truly equal in your ability to take action on them, then it doesn't matter which one you choose first, because one of the things that is connected to the idea of your passion is the organizing principle of synchronicity. And if that is not the correct path for you at that moment, synchronicity will create situations, circumstances, and opportunities that will turn you right around to the path that is. It's automatic. That's how it functions. It guides you. And I remind you that even though there is such a thing as negative synchronicity, so to speak, where you can compound the idea of fear-based beliefs and have a downward spiral in that direction, there are also two types of positive synchronicity. What we will call green light synchronicity and red light synchronicity, just like your traffic situation. The green light synchronicity says, here's an opportunity, and it says, go, act on it. You can act on it, and you can move forward. Red light synchronicity says, this may be representative of your passion, but don't take that action right now. No matter how hard you try, there's nothing you can seem to do about acting on that thing. If it's not you that is preventing yourself from doing that, then it is simply red light synchronicity saying, not yet. You may need to go over here to gather information and experience that will bring you back around to the proper timing when you can act on this, but not right now. So if you've done everything you can to act on something and it just doesn't seem to be moving forward, then trust that as long as you are honest with yourself and you're not the one dampening that excitement, that red light synchronicity is telling you that this is not exactly the step you need to take at this moment. Go with what you can act on. Go with what green light synchronicity says. You can act on this, and it will actually lead you where you need to be, so that when you wind up there, these other things that are all interconnected, all representative of your passion and your excitement, can then possibly come to fruition. But I caution you this: never assume that the form that your excitement comes in is the form that must come to fruition, because you don't know why it came to you in that form. It might play out, but sometimes, because of the nature of the belief systems that exist within your physical mind, sometimes synchronicity and excitement have to present themselves to you in a certain way, just because that's the way that will get you to actually take an action. get you excited enough to move so that you can wind up where you need to be so that what really needs to happen can actually happen more easily. And that's why you don't have any insistence or assumption about why your excitement comes in the form that it does. So you don't have to assume that it's rigidly fixed, so that surprises can come and lead you exactly where you need to be led. Does that all make sense to you so far? Yes. All right. We tell you these things in advance of the conversation that we are now going to have about the idea of the vortex being an interdimensional access point for you, because when you clarify yourself and when you understand how the formula that we've shared with all of you really works and you use it very precisely, then the idea of the amplification and magnification of this energy vortex can really work to your advantage and really allow you to experience a great deal of acceleration in the direction of your true path. Now, let's talk a little bit about the idea of how you use already parallel realities to create the experiences in your life. You already have what you consider to be a timeline to your life. You linearly usually think of it going from A to Z. I'm going from the past to the future, through the present. But the present is all there is. The past and the future, in a sense, are just probable illusions, probabilities that haven't yet really solidified until you solidify yourself in the present, until you define yourself clearly in the present, in whatever way, shape, or form you might do that, positively or negatively, or even neutrally. I remind you of this so that you understand that while you may think linearly that the future is not fixed, neither is the past. Listen carefully. What you define yourself to be in the here and now, which is all there is, in the present, right now, not only changes the probabilities of the future, but changes your past as well. Why? It works this way. Because you're experiencing the idea of physical reality, because you're experiencing the idea of cause and effect, you're separating them out. Oh, this causes this effect to happen. This must happen first so that this can happen. Because that's the way you experience the concept of space and time, because you have created physical reality to be viewed and experienced that way, anytime you make a change in your definition of who you are in the present, anytime you become literally a different person, a new person, your linear reality has to shift in a way that says, well, if you're a new person now, we have to alter the past to become the kind of past that would have led to who you are in the present. We have to change the cause so that the effect makes sense. So you're actually changing your past all the time, literally. Not metaphorically, literally. Now, you may not know that all the time, because again, as soon as you make that adjustment in the present, the past is going to bring with it the idea that that's always been your past, because that's what's going to make sense to you linearly. Even though 2 minutes ago you may have had a completely different past, you may not know that, because in order to function in physical reality in the present, you have to remember the past that makes sense for who you are now. And this is dynamically changing all the time. Now, because you are expanding your consciousness, because you are allowing yourself to be a little bit more aware of more of yourself, some of you are beginning to experience what you have labeled the Mandela effect, which is the idea that you are actually aware of the fact that the past has changed, and that one person can remember one past and another person can remember a completely different past for the exact same event. Now, that's not always the case. Sometimes it is just a slip of your memory. But sometimes it is the idea of recognizing that you have shifted the past in order to truly define who you are in the present, and that two people can have a memory of absolutely different histories, and both of them are real, because all parallel realities exist at the same time. Everything exists here and now. When your scientists begin to understand consciousness a little bit more thoroughly, they will understand that in their search for a so-called unified theory of physics, they have to include the idea of not only reducing all of the physical phenomenon in reality to a single idea that explains all of the effects, they have to reduce space and time as well. So reducing the idea of space to its ultimate will be the idea of a single dimensionless point. Reducing the idea of time to its ultimate will be a single timeless moment. You can call the single dimensionless point here and the single timeless moment now. So everything becomes existing here and now, in lay terms. But once you do that, once you truly start to wrap your minds around the understanding that anything you can imagine in every parallel reality all exists simultaneously, all going on right now, you start to realize that what that really means is that there is only that single point of here, only that timeless moment of now, and therefore anything that you perceive as a different place, anything that you perceive as a different moment, is actually the same place and the same moment from a different point of view. Because there is only one place here and only one moment now. So everything you experience that appears to be stretched out into volumes of space and moments of time are all the same place and the same time from another vantage point, another perspective of that same here and now. That's how you create the idea and the experience of physical reality. Because I remind you of this very powerful recognition. Everyone, everything, you, us, all beings of any nature, your natural state is spirit. That's where you are right now. Right now. You have never left spirit. That's where you reside. That's your natural state. You are pretending to have left. You are dreaming that you have left. And that is called physical reality. Physical reality is a dream that your greater spirit, a part of your greater spirit, is having right now while you are in spirit. You're there right now. This is why very often when people pass on into spirit, you wonder, why don't they come back and say hello? Sometimes they may. But understand, you're there with them. They're not missing you. So the idea is they may show up now and then to remind you that it is only a portion of your spirit in the spirit realm that thinks it's not in the spirit realm anymore. Because that's all physical reality is. It's a projection of your consciousness. It's an illusion for a specific purpose of experiencing yourself in a certain way so that you can forget that you're a spirit, forget what you know, so that you can learn new things and discover new perspectives of yourself so you can change and grow in a very specific way. That is how creation expands. The structure of existence never changes. It is what it is. But your experience of it, your relationship to it, your perspective of it constantly changes. That is how creation grows. So the idea is you are experiencing physical reality, and you are learning new perspectives, new discoveries of yourself from new points of view, allowing creation to expand in that way, in its relationship to itself, through all of you, through all of us, through all that is. And that experience is precious because it allows you to experience the process of change, the idea of growth, the idea of discovery, the idea of newness. And that is a precious gift. So, now, how are you actually doing that in physical reality? Well, as I said, you all assume you have a single timeline that goes from your past to your future. In fact, what you're doing is this. You are scanning all of the frames of reference of all the parallel realities that are relevant for the theme that you chose to explore in this life. And you are drawing down and plugging in and unplugging from and connecting to and disconnecting from all the frames and parallel realities that are relevant for this theme. You are constructing, literally, moment to moment, billions of times per second, constructing what appears to be a single timeline made up of frames, one after the other in a certain order, from thousands of parallel reality connections. You are doing this all the time automatically. When you have an inspiration, oh, I just thought of this. It may be coming from a parallel reality person that you're plugging into that is having that experience. And therefore you can get the inspiration because their experience in that particular reality is relevant for the theme you chose to explore in this reality, in this timeline. You're constantly merging with timelines to build the timeline that is relevant to your theme as they are doing with you, drawing upon your experiences, your information to construct their timelines. All of this going on at the same time. That's how powerful you are. You are a multidimensional being. This idea of your physical self is but a fraction of a fragment of what you actually are, of what your greater self actually is. Your soul is multidimensional. The idea that you have created this experience you call physical reality is magical. Some civilizations that are non-physical, some collectives, interdimensional, non-physical beings, sometimes actually have a challenge even imagining how such a thing is possible that you do on a daily basis. They can't imagine limiting themselves in that way. This is why we often refer to you as the masters of limitation. Now, but here's the thing. In your process, you are going from being the masters of limitation to being the masters of limitation, so that you can master how you use the limitations you impose upon your consciousness in ways that will allow you to experience your growth in a fantastically magical way, so that you really start remembering that you're creating this physical reality experience by your collective and individual agreements, by the contracts you have with each other, to serve each other, to reflect to each other what it is you each need to know to become more aware of who you are through this process, to discover a new perspective of yourself and add that experience to your soul, to your greater being, to all that is, to source itself. Because you are all and we are all and everything is reflections and aspects of all that is, experiencing itself in all the ways that it can, in all the ways that it is. Nothing is by accident, it's all an orchestration. Synchronicity permeates everything you experience, whether you know it or not. This is all an orchestration. When you are walking down a street, All the people that you see walking down the street around you are not there by accident. It may be differing in degree of relevance as to what their presence means to you or what your presence means to them, but it's not an accident. You are there because you're serving to support the greater whole picture, to allow someone else or yourself to glean something from the experience of being there at that exact place, at that exact moment in time. The orchestration is amazing, precise, unerring. When you are stuck in one of your so-called traffic jams, it's not by accident that you're there. So take the time to look around. The people that are next to you in their automobiles are not there by accident. Again, it may not necessarily be that relevant for you at that moment, or maybe you are learning some lessons. Here's one example. Again, by being in that traffic jam and not moving forward very quickly, how do you know that 5 miles down the road, if you had been going at full speed, you wouldn't have gotten into an accident that killed you? You don't know. But what you do know is that there's a reason this is happening. And again, it may not necessarily have that much to do with you, but it has to do with you in your willingness to support someone in that grouping who does need to learn something from that experience. That's the willingness to serve that you all have on a higher level. Bring that willingness to serve down to earth, and you will be served as well. As you serve, you are served. It's just like what we have said by analogy. Each and every one of you is like a little puzzle piece. And when you all fit together, you create the big puzzle picture that supports all of the pieces within it as the pieces support the whole. If you are willing to be the puzzle piece the way you were intended to be shaped, the natural shape you are, and not trying to be a different shape that you are not, you will fit with all the other shapes willing to be themselves, and you will create a harmonious whole. Remember, unity and harmony are not the product of being homogeneous. Unity and harmony are the product of validating the differences that each of you beautifully are, so that all the differences fit together and create the whole picture. Diversity is the key. So the idea in being diverse as beings, in drawing from the diversity of multiple parallel dimensions of experience and reality to create your path in this life, is what's going on all the time. You are the product of infinite diversity every single moment. Billions of times per second are you redefining yourself. Literally billions of times per second are you going back to zero. Whatever the definition is in the next moment is what your reality is, changing the future and the past. Every single moment, billions of times per second. You are that free to go to zero and redefine yourself every moment. When you collectively gather and you have an agreement that you are in this powerful electromagnetic vortex that can act as an amplifier and a reflector and a magnifier for the energies that you bring into it, you have to understand, based on what we're telling you now, yes, in a sense, you can say, well, yes, Sedona is a vortex. You are the vortex. You are creating the energy. It is representative of your collective agreement about what you're truly capable of, what you're truly capable of creating with each other by serving each other and reflecting to each other what you truly need. There's that word again, what you truly need to be yourselves, to have a life of fulfillment and a life of joy. You deserve it. You're worth it. Do remember, all of you are worthy by the fact that you exist, because creation doesn't make mistakes. And if you exist, that means you're worthy of existence. It means creation needs you to exist, for it to be all that it is. Those of you who might have experienced the idea of believing in your lack of worth, you're arguing with creation, and you will never win that argument because you cannot stop existing. So, don't keep pounding your head against the wall, I'm unworthy, I'm not deserving, because creation will never acknowledge that, ever. You cannot stop existing. Existence is your natural state. There is no room in non-existence for anything that exists. Non-existence is already full of all the things that will never exist. I'll put it another way. Listen carefully to the definition. Non-existence is its quality. That means non-existence doesn't exist. Existence exists. Non-existence doesn't exist. That's its primary quality, to not exist. So there's nowhere for you to go. You may change your form, but you cannot stop existing. That is your natural quality. It's the quality of existence itself. And what you call, what you experience as unconditional love is just your way of recognizing the actual frequency of existence. That's its core frequency, what you call unconditional love and support. You are constantly unconditionally supported by existence in whatever way you say is true for you. Fear-based, you're supported in it. Joy-based, you're supported in it. Because the support is what? Unconditional. Look that up in your dictionaries. It means no condition, none, zero. What you say goes. It's in your control. It's in your hands. Your greatest power is the freedom to choose. So choose who it is you prefer to be. Act in the way you prefer to act. Be the living example for others, to give them the option, the choice, the opportunity to see that there may be a more joyful way to live. It doesn't mean they have to buy into it. It doesn't mean they have to match your frequency. But at least give them the choice. Maybe someday they will remember the living example you provided and go, oh, I get it now. I can apply that in my life. Not that they have to. Again, remember, whatever you share when it's appropriate to share, whatever someone else does with that is none of your business. Because you don't know their path. You don't know what they have determined they need to experience to get where they're going. But just give them the option. Give them the choice. Let them decide when and where and how to use it. Remember, there's no rush. There's no hurry. You're all eternal, infinite beings. No hurry. Somewhere, somehow, somewhen, you'll get it. You don't have to get it now, but you can choose to. It's up to you. I guarantee you that when you do, your lives will be a lot smoother, a lot more joyful, a lot more creative, a lot more loving, and a lot more serving of all that is, that allows all that is to reflect that service back to you. So, the parallel realities that you constantly connect into, the other dimensions you become aware of, the other versions of your greater being that are living out their lives along with you simultaneously, side by side or overlapping, if you wish to put it that way, are there for you to mine as you need to, as they give to you and they serve you and you serve them by providing them more experience, more information, more energy, so they can draw from you what they need as you draw from them what you need. So we're talking about service across multiple realities. Service across multiple dimensions is your natural state. Bring that down to earth Flow that energy of service through you to serve each other as the mirrors and reflections that you are to each other, because that's what relationships are actually fundamentally all about. That everyone in the relationship reflects to the others what they need to know to become more of who they are, as they do for you. You don't have to impose any kind of rigidity on the relationship and assume, well, it's got to be this because the attraction is so strong, it must mean this. You don't know that. Let the relationship show you what it is. Don't impose a rigid societal structure on it. Let it show you what it's for. Because the strength of the attraction doesn't necessarily translate to any particular societal structure. The strength of the attraction just means it's a very important agreement you have made with that person or those people to get reflected to you what you need while you reflect to them what they need. That's what the strength of the attraction is about. It doesn't mean you have to get married because you're already married to them in the agreement you've made to serve each other. It doesn't have to take the societal form. That's up to you. If it continues that way, and by the end of your life, it appears that that's what it was, then by the end of your life, you'll know that. You don't have to impose that limitation, that structure, that definition on it while it's happening. You'll find out at the end what it was for, what it was all about. Do you understand? Yes. Does this serve you? We thank you for allowing us to share with you this day, and for the upcoming transmissions we will share with you as well. And in return for the gift you have given us in allowing us to serve you this way, I ask, how may we continue to serve you? You may begin with your dialogues and questions if you wish.